Shaman King in 6 episodes got so confusing. Sit back, kick up, and let's go talk about it. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Cuff. Let me tell you something about Lyserg in the beginning. He reached out to Yo, and I'm very surprised that he did. But this kid is feeling lonely and hurt, but he probably feels like he needs to be there because of the dreams that he had. Either way, he's with X-Laws. X-Laws decides to threaten Yo, which was a huge mistake. And the Iron Maiden, stopped the shenanigans and literally tried to invite Yo over, which I don't know why she thought to begin with that he would actually ever say yes at all whatsoever. Either way, he said no. He walked away. That thing was over. X-Law's first fight is up against How, and How literally not even trying dismantled them very quickly, ate their souls. But one thing that I realized very quickly is how fast he can manipulate his power. He has the power of water, fire, earth, water, and I think steel, if I understood the description a little bit, that when they were trying to describe the pentagram. Either way, moving on from that, anyone that you put in front of Ren, he is going to kill and eat their souls. Which, on top of that, he's also on a soul hunt. So after that fight, he's sending out his minions to go collect souls, specific souls at that, very powerful souls. Now, I don't have a shadow of a doubt that Ren can just go do it himself. I just don't know why he's not doing it. Probably because they're just trying to drag out like a show for the most part. And his people do seem quite competent as far as, being able to accomplish this goal. But at the same time, not really. Only for the simple fact is the one person who kind of got in the way is Yos Father. And Yos Father, who reached out to Ren to teach him like this secret art at the same exact time because of some unknown reason. And then it got my head thinking a little bit more. Like, you are this strong, literally this powerful. You're also in the shaman fight. And at the same exact time, you're not going up against Ren. It's like, why? Like, why are you not fighting? Like, why are you putting your son's life on the line? Why are you not there being a dad? Why are you not training your son and leaving it up to Anna? Don't you have experience? I mean, what are you doing that you are not becoming a father? But yet you're being a father figure to these two children that are on your team in the shaman fight. So the fact that, first off, he got brought up so randomly, and then they say that he's in the shaman fight, and that nobody really knew that he was there, potentially other than Anna, I was just very much confused. And then no one even sits there and points it out, says anything, or maybe I might have missed it at some point in time while watching the anime. Highly doubt it, but it's a possibility, but I find that aspect very confusing. Now, one thing I don't find confusing and very shocking though is Ren's ability to control his mana so well against Yo's father. Ren went all out against Yo's father, but the way he manipulated and controlled his mana was literally top line. I mean, he did the best he possibly could, and on top of that, he was learning while he was fighting. That was one thing you don't really see Yo do at all whatsoever that quickly. And he's just showing you how strong he is and how he can manipulate his mana so well, which is what I kind of like. And that's what I see in potentially a Shaman King, someone who is not necessarily the strongest, but the one who can manipulate mana the best. And right now, currently, I see that as none other than Ren. And then he ended up learning the ability that Yo's father wanted to teach him just from one fight, which I found amazing. All he needed to do was heal at that point in time. Karma caught up to Ren, and the tribe member that he killed, if you remember early on in the season, well, guess what? Apparently he had a brother that was in the tribe member and wants some vengeance, and he ended up getting it because now Ren is dead. However, Yo showed up in the nick of time and beat Hao's men in like one strike. I mean, it just didn't take much for him to destroy everything in just one strike and then just let it be. Either way, he called upon the Iron Maiden, and the Iron Maiden's rule was, you must leave in order for me to save your friend. And Yo was like, okay, cool, I'm out the shaman fight. I don't need to be a Shaman King. And then I'm over here trying to figure out what was the whole entire point of me watching up until this point. because you want your friend to gain like 50,000 more like mana. It's still not anything compared to Ren's 1.25 million. And then on top of that, if he dies while facing Hao, I mean, Hao's just literally going to, eat his soul and make him that much more powerful. I mean, if it works like that. So I don't know. That's where it kind of got a little bit more confusing. And while we're on the aspect of confusing, these are a couple things that I'm gonna wrap up real quick that also confused me, which was the power levels. First off, in the earlier that they showed these like little cuff things where they would be like, "Hey, this is your power level." And then all of a sudden they start talking about, "Oh, this is why we don't show them your power level because that limits your potential. If you say you only have 2,000, most people only see it as, oh, I'm only 2,000 facing somebody who has 10,000, so therefore they're not going to grow." And then Yo's father also mentioned the same thing where he said, as you get older, you start noticing the ceiling, and then you get a little bit older, and then you start noticing the stains on the ceiling. So I'm trying to figure out like exactly when does the potential lining just stop? Because the way I kind of see it, right, is that Yo's father's ideals are completely different than what they just mentioned in the show, which was in the show, they say the minute that someone tells you a number, that's where your potential kind of starts to cease. However, Yo's father, his ideals are a little bit different in the simple fact that he's saying that as you're young and a kid, the potential is literally as big as the sky, and you can go as high as you want to go up until you get older, and then you'll realize the cap that you'll never achieve. So I look a little bit different. If I see a cap, my goal is to fill the room at that point in time. Like I want to become the room because that's me maxing out everything out in my ability. But then again, I guess the show's just going any kind of which way. The second thing that kind of confused me the most was when you die, you come back with more mana. So like 50k more mana. However, the reincarnation of Hao is a little bit different because it looked like he was reincarnated, I think, like 4 times. And then with his fourth time being reincarnated, he gained like literally 250,000 every single time. I mean, do you have to die, or is a temporary die just give you a boost? So either way, does a close call death also give you more? So technically, does that mean that Manta, who can see spirits, now have the ability to gain more mana or potential any mana whatsoever? Because I want Manta to be a shaman. I mean, I would really like to see him fight or do what Anna's doing. I mean, I know mostly it was strictly for women for the most part, but either way, let him do something because he doesn't have his textbook no more. So therefore, he's not really learning. And to be honest, he's not really done much the last few episodes other than complain, and that's kind of annoying. Either way, I know I missed out a lot when it came to, that miniature battle that happened in between these episodes with the women and the witches. And on top of that, I know I missed out on Horo Horo being upset, specifically at Yo. So he's kind of going through something. I just really wanted to hit up the powerhouses of everything. And if you think I missed anything other than that, please let me know down in the comments. As usual, if you do like it, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button because it helps me out with that YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to click the bell notification for every time I post. You won't miss anything. And most importantly, above anything else, don't forget to kick up and not down. And I'll see you the next time I post. Peace.